Grapevine Farms in Cobleskill, New York has a little bit of everything. From clothing to jewelry to their farmhouse bistro and wine cellar, this location has been a shopping and dining destination for thousands of people over the last 17 years. However, once the customers have all gone home and the lights are turned out for the day, the other residents of this 170-year-old farmhouse make themselves known. As I said, you're free to take any of those.
Can you push that angel?
Is that your favorite one? Not long ago, we were invited by the owners of Grapevine Farms to conduct an investigation of their store/home. 17 years ago, they realized their dream of turning this once abandoned farmhouse into what it is today. However, they've always known they weren't alone. One of the first things they discovered in their basement was a tombstone leaning up against the wall. This tombstone belongs to David Hiltz, who died in 1859. It is widely believed that both he and his wife are buried on the property. While it is believed that David's spirit haunts the location, he's not the only spirit that the owners, staff, and visitors have experienced over the years. It is also widely believed that the spirits of children who died in the home during the 1800s are the source of voices and footprints that are often heard in the second floor. They are also known to be mischievous, as the owners will often discover lights turned on in the middle of the night, long after they'd been turned off. They have also encountered what is believed to be a small child in the basement. Psychic mediums have described this child as a boy who is sad or crying. As you can tell, there was a lot for us to go on here, and a lot of spirits to try and communicate with. So, after interviewing the owners and staff, we turned out the lights and started investigating. Tim, co-owner of Grapevine Farms for 17 years, joined us for most of our investigation. We feel this was a big reason that we got as much evidence as we did. He is a walking trigger object, something familiar for the spirits to gravitate to. And they certainly know his name.
Seller.
You'd like
Something you'd like to tell me that you are here.
By the end of the night, they knew our names too. The spirits didn't wait long to make their presence known. Less than 1 minute after turning on our first camera, the stationary camera in the attic picked up the first of many voices we would capture that night.
Show them like that. Oh, I'll take them. Show them like that. Oh, I'll take them.
It is widely believed that the spirit of David Hiltz is attached to his tombstone, which is displayed in a room on the second floor. There are also many reasons to believe that his spirit is a curmudgeon. Many staff and customers have reported seeing an older man glaring at them from this room, or feeling uncomfortable while entering it. While in this room, we picked up several EVPs that were definitely not friendly. They weren't negative, just not friendly or welcoming. We believe this is the spirit of David Hiltz directly answering our questions, and he isn't thrilled that we're here.
I'm curious about, do they like to change? Do they not like to change? Are they upset with me? I mean, because this room here overnight this spring.
100% I will be here.
Because I will not sleep in this room. No way.
Will the tombstone still be in?
One of the things the owners and staff wanted us to explore during our investigation was to ask David if he wanted his tombstone to remain in the home or to be moved outside. So, we asked him. Here are the replies we received.
Do you want him to leave the tombstone? Do you want it inside?
We also caught several light anomalies in David's room, which is the visual manifestation of spirit energy.
You ready?
Yes.
Recording. Okay, we're here in David's
One grumpy spirit aside, we also captured evidence of several children's spirits that reside here, mainly on the second floor. We conducted an experiment where we brought them presents to use as trigger objects to try and draw them to us. They knew we were there and that we brought them presents. Turns out these children's spirits are also polite.
I said you're free to take any of those. Walk up.
They also responded to us announcing that we brought them presents. What makes this really compelling is that we picked up the same voice at the same time on 2 different cameras.
We thought we'd bring you some Christmas presents. We thought we'd bring you some Christmas presents.
Also, in an effort to try and tempt them to move the ball, I used myself as bait.
You want to kick the ball at me right now? I'm here. I'm standing on the stairs. Come on, man. Get your best shot. We've been annoying you tonight. Here's your chance. You can kick that ball, hit me right in the head with it.
One interesting EVP that we captured seems to indicate that the children's spirits are aware of David and his bad mood. We were in David's room doing audio, and our camera in the hallway picked up this EVP, which sounds like a warning. While conducting our experiment with the toys on the second floor, something happened to me that is by far the most startling thing that has ever happened to me on one of our investigations. It's a little hard to explain, so we'll just play the clip and let me try to explain what I felt. Also, note the EVP at the end of this clip, which sounds like a child laughing at me.
Yeah, there's all kinds of movement.
That's what I'm trying to be perfectly still.
What happened?
Oh my god.
What happened?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
Yeah. The closest I can explain it is it felt like a dog just licked my hand. That's weird.
I thought you got hurt.
No, I jumped. It had to have been me kicking my hand or something. There's no way that's what that was. That had to be natural. That couldn't be natural.
A dog licking me?
Well, not one I can't see.
It was one of the kids looking at me.
Yeah. Well, if you can lick me, you can not.
We found out the next day that Tracy, Tim's wife, had asked that if the spirit of their recently deceased dog was still in the building, that it should come and scare us. Can I prove the spirit of their dog came and licked my hand in that hallway? No. But I own 2 dogs myself, and I know what that feels like. I have never felt anything like that on an investigation before. I've never been this startled before, and it is definitely compelling. We also went down to the basement in search of the child spirit that is said to be a sad boy. We picked up some answers on the Phasma box that gave us a name and an age. We also caught an EVP of what sounds like a child crying. At one point, while on the second floor hallway, I was adjusting the settings on one of our cameras when Tim snapped this picture on his cell phone. There are 2 things about this photo that are really compelling. First, there's this face in the upper part of the photo. This is obviously a face. The human mind has a tendency to make faces out of everything. It's called matrixing. In our opinion, this is not matrixing. Not only can you make out a face, but it also appears to have a well-defined chin. The second mystery about this photo is that we don't know where this light is coming from. My flashlight can be clearly seen to be aimed at my body. Emily is down the hall holding a parabolic microphone and is not holding her flashlight. Tim doesn't even have a flashlight. You can speculate that this is the flash of the camera reflecting back. However, if you look at this exact spot during the day, there's no reflective surface on this wall or door frame that would make the light reflect directly back to the camera. This face is at least 8 feet off the ground, and the light is at least 6 feet off the ground. This picture is very compelling. The attic ended up being a real hot spot during the night. This is a room that is dedicated to Christmas decorations and ornaments year-round. It is believed that some of the children's spirits reside here, as it's not uncommon for the lights to turn on in the middle of the night in this room.
Figure out is why you keep playing with the electric up here.
Yeah, I would love to know that.
The electric bill would like to know that.
We decided to ask the spirits about the ornaments hanging from the ceiling. We asked them to spin their favorite ornament. And they did.
But not all that
Yeah, there's only select.
The ones right here.
The bird right
But the angel is moving. The angel's still moving. Can you push that angel?
Is that your favorite one?
God.
The most important part of this clip is to notice not the ornament that's spinning, but the fact that the rest of them aren't moving. It was at that moment that I decided to go grab our thermal camera to see if we could see what was moving these ornaments. A thermal camera sees in hot and cold spots. Paranormal activity can often be identified in temperature changes, so this is a tool we use often. I came back and turned on the thermal camera and started to look around.
Oh my gosh.
Possible?
Who's here? Somebody's standing here. Look at that. I see it.
Several seconds after capturing this, the camera shut off on its own. You'd never expect to see something like this. We'll freeze frame the moment we captured this image. It is very clearly the image of a small child, most likely a girl. It starts to dissipate as the camera shuts off, but if you look at a comparison of the same shot taken from the same angle just before this, there is not the same signature of a child standing directly in front of that shelf. Is this the child spirit that's been turning off and on the lights and moving ornaments up here? We don't know for sure, but she's definitely a likely suspect. We feel as if we're just scratching the surface at Grapevine Farms. There are so many questions that we are going to endeavor to answer in the future. Where does David want his tombstone? Why is the child in the basement crying? Why are the children's spirits still here? We'll have to answer those questions on another investigation. For now, we're left with haunting messages and great memories of one of the most active locations we've ever investigated.
Do you want Dan and Emily to come back sometime?
As always, thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more of our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow our day-to-day adventures by liking our Facebook page. For any more information about us, or to contact us directly, please visit our website, www.orangecountanynyparanormal.com.